Good day everybody and welcome at BMW E36 and E46 vlog 95 output shafts. They're a little bit heavy, so I'm going to put them down and then I'm going to explain how it works and how to replace them. So for the rookies under us, I'm going to explain real quick how everything works and what I've done with it. Well, at the front of your car you have your gearbox. In my case I have automatic and I refurbished it at Expert. Then you have your big drive shaft, and that shaft is for to get the power from the front, so the engine, to the rear, to your differential, and then to the wheels. In the middle you have like a center bearing. I replaced that one for Meile. At the end of your drive shaft you have a big round rubber. I replaced that also for Meile, the HD version. Some guys choose for a race part, but if you make that harder, then you will feel the automatic shifting because the rubber gives in and the race stuff doesn't give in. So I definitely recommend a rubber one and replace it once in a while. So you have your drive shaft, the round rubber, and then you have your differential, and what I replace with that are the sides, like the dust caps and the layers in it. And for the rest you cannot really refurbish it, then you have to replace it for a used one or a new one. Then you get the output shafts, because I'm going to replace them both. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace them. At the end of your output shafts you have your wheel bearings, and those are to make the wheels go around. And what also going to give problems with vibration and sounds are the brakes, that they're stuck. And like you can see in previous vlogs, I also replaced the brakes for new ones. So everything is replaced except these output shafts. And then the most important tip, your differential is hanging on just one bolt with a rubber in it, and that rubber is going to get worn out. And if that's the case, then your differential is going to hang lower and that destroyed my my output shaft. They refurbished it. What they do is you have like a cross clutch, and they split it, put a new one on, and then weld it back together. And then they're going to put weights on because it has to be perfectly aligned and whatever. But that's not the case for now. So it's very important to replace that rubber, and it is possible to keep your differential on, and they have like a special tool to push the rubber out and put a new one in. If it's still have vibration in it, that's because the rubber is getting worn out and it's moving. So if you put torque on it, so like I said, more torque, or you go from front into reverse, it's like dunk dunk, and you get stuff like that. Anyway, I waited too long to replace the rubber, and it destroyed my my drive shaft. So what I'm going to do now is the last part, that are the output shafts, because the car is starting to get more vibrations. If that doesn't work, then it could be only two other things, because that's okay. It could be my wheel bearings, because that wasn't done by a good garage, but let's say that's okay. Then it can only be the rubbers of the whole rear from your subframe, or in worst case scenario the subframe is getting loose from your chassis, and that would be really stuck. But where I'm worried about is that I get the output shafts on and there's still vibration. The thing what I'm going to do then is I'm going to balance the wheels, because you could get vibration from that. And I hope the vibration is gone, but it could be possible because the drive line of the E46 is like very vulnerable, and if one part is broken, like I said, the rubber, then it comes down to like a centimeter and everything gets under more tension, and it's starting to get failures. So I hope that the mechanic is there tomorrow, because the next or last time he should also do this, but he didn't have time. So I really hope that he can replace it tomorrow. I'm going to pack it out now, and I'm going to show you what's in it. So I'm going to replace the whole output shaft. Some people only going to replace the homognate, but this is getting really rusty, and I'm going to replace it all, and it's more easy. So what's in it? Like the whole drive shaft with the homognate, and there is a nut over there. So I don't like to talk about prices so much, but people keep asking me what does this part cost, how much is to replace, so I'm going to do it myself or I'm going to do by a mechanic in a garage. If you replace this whole output shaft, so only one, then it's around 500 euros, so that's for two sides 1000 euros, so 1k, and that's quite a lot. These whole output shafts from SKF are like 120 and 160, let's say together they are 300 euros, so that's like almost half from one OEM. SKF claims that they have original quality. Like I said, two of these output shafts are the price from one OEM one, so I doubt that it is the same quality. Like I just said, I want to replace it all because it's easier for the mechanic, and the output itself gets rusty, so if you're going to replace it, it costs time and you still have a rusty output. I'm going to replace this one. I'm not going to drift with the car or anything crazy, so it's probably going to be fine, but those are the two differences between the prices and the aftermarket and the original one. I choose SKF, that's a pretty good B brand, some call it the A brand, not advertisement, but it is okay. So I'm going to show you the part picture on real OEM, so that's exactly the same as the BMW dealer sees. I'm going to put the part number, so that's the original BMW number, down here. For the left side is this number, and for the right side it's that number. And I'm also going to show you the SKF number for the right side and for the left side. Some people say that for a manual or automatic gearbox are way different. In my opinion, it's not. If you're a mechanic or you have any experience with it, please put it down in the comment for the other guys around here, if there is a difference with the drive shafts. So the first thing about Parcels with part like this, trust me, I know about it, are that they're like getting pretty banged up. I see some oil leaking over here. I don't know if it comes out or it was just on the surface, but anyway, I don't like that. I hope it's still okay. And also a lot of these parts are like refurbished. The same with brakes, they paint this and put new parts on that and they sell it like new, and a lot of shops do that. Anyway, what's very important is this thickness, and you can search it up on real OEM, and also the length. So the left and the right side, which you can clearly see over here, have a different length. So thickness is important, and this length is important. Yeah, you can replace the inner side, so this is your diff side, or the outer side that goes into your wheel bearings. And like you can see, this looks like really brand new, but on the other hand this look like used, but yeah, they say it's normal. And this one came with the nut screwed on, this one was loose in the box. Anyway, this probably is new, but yeah, you see here, it's a little bit hard to see, it's got all ripples over it. This is like completely flat. Maybe they did it because you need two sides. So I searched on a license plate, and these are the ones that came out. I did a double check on real OEM and a triple check at the mechanic, and it's supposed to have two sides. And what I also did is I checked it on the website from this brand, and they also recommend these two. So I believe that you don't have any difference with an automatic and a manual gearbox, and that these ones should fit. So I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, and I hope that the vibration goes away when we put them on. I'm going to line up the car, so on the other hand you have balancing your wheels, and then line up the cars are like your camber and get it straight and whatever. Because of the accident, the guy who parked his van against my E46, it could hit the tire and like twist it, the control arm a little bit. So anyway, you have to do like a check once a year. They subscribe, and when you have accident or hit a bump or whatever. So I'm going to line up the car. If that doesn't help, then I'm going to do the wheels as well, but this is probably going to help, but I don't want a wrong alignment with these new parts on it. Anyway, talk to you guys tomorrow, and fingers crossed. One more thing, keep forgetting to tell you stuff, because I have to tell you guys a lot of stuff. Why I don't do this repair myself? First of all, I don't have the time for it now. I have to do a lot of other stuff. Second of all, I don't feel like it. And third, I want to see how the mechanic does it, and then I'm going to do it on the E36 like my practice car. Yeah, so I have an example to do so. So I would say it's a 3 out of 5 star, definitely maybe a 2 out of 5. You don't need a bridge, you can do it with a jack and some jack stands. What you should do is to get the car up, get the suspension loose, so the spring stays on, get the suspension loose so the tension is off. Then on your differential side, you have to lose 6 bolts, and there are 3 reinforcement little plates on it, so that's super easy. And then on the other side, so at your wheel side, some are like really rusty and they're stuck. If that's the case, you have to warm it up and then you can get it out. We already replaced the wheel bearings there, so it's probably pretty loose there. And then we come to the case. That's why I want to see what the mechanic does. Some guys get like their brakes off and their disc off and everything off there, and then they get it out. I see others that only get the wheels off and then get it out. If that's the case, then you only have to put 6 bolts out the diff sides and then 1 big bolt over there, and you can get it out. Oh yeah, the fourth thing why I don't do it, I don't have the power to get the nut loose and back again. And I also don't know if they're going to put, some say like 200 newtons on it, and the others say 300 newtons. And some guys say I'm going to do it tight, warm it up by driving it a little bit, and then halfway loose again, and then it should be fine. I'm going to check it out, and I think that you only need to get your wheel off, because then you can get to the nut. So anything else? So like I said, the only thing that you really need to get loose are your suspensions. Leave the spring on, and at the left side a lot of guys get the exhaust loose. So if you have a catback system like I have the Iceman catback system, that means that from your cats, everything, so the 2 exhausts in the middle are deleted, and my rear muffler is also from Iceman, and they're like in 2 or 3, 1, 2, let's say 3 pieces, and they together with a clamp. So probably like the first 2 pieces has to come off, or the whole exhaust. So that's a little bit a thing. If that's the case, then you can better do it on a bridge than on jack stands, but it is possible. Anyway, that's the reasons, or are the reasons why I'm not going to do this one myself. Like I said, I'm going to do it myself at the E36, but I want to watch how a mechanic does it and get some advice and see how he does it, and then we do it ourselves. But if you don't have the money, or you like to try it yourself, it's definitely doable, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Ta-da.
Okay guys, and it's quiet, so it helped. I only hear the tires, and I told it to the mechanic as well, because my car got hit in the back at the left. Maybe it hit my tire, so calibration, so the lineup is maybe a little bit out of calibration, so I have to check that later. Anyway, it helped. It went pretty easy, but when the car was on the bridge, he, like at the first 10 seconds, saw that, I believe they call it like the stabilizer bar rod, so that's like a small bar that's attached to your stabilizer. It was loose, and we measured it up, and it's 95 centimeters, so or millimeters, so that's 9.5 centimeter, 95 millimeters. And I quickly searched it up on my phone, and from Moose I believe, they have 89. That's like 6 millimeters shorter, and then it walks free. So I'm going to order that parts. I also saw a price drop over there for like 15 euros a piece, and the left side and the right side is the same, so you can buy two of the same stabilizer rods or connecting rods. So I'm going to look it up and I'm going to order them, and then in the weekend we're going to replace it. So I believed that my how you call that, my sunshade at the rear was making a noise, but it probably was that stabilizer rod. So I am very happy that that sound is away. So it's mounted now, it's connected, but when I hit a bump or whatever, it's probably going to shoot loose again, because there's not like a cap on it or something. It just slides on your stabilizer bar. So it's on now, I don't hear any wrinkle anymore, so I'm super happy with that. So that's a plus point. I'm going to order it and Saturday mount it, and then we're going for a lineup and balance the tires as well, but that's a thing for later. So that was it for now, and I'm going to talk to you. So that was it for now, and I'm going to talk to you guys when I ordered and received the stabilizer rods, or I'm going to look up how they call it, but I believe they call it stabilizer rods. So talk to you then. The old output shafts were in a pretty good shape. Well, I don't do drifting with the E46 or do crazy things in the corners. They weren't 100% because I hear less noise at the rear now. What I do notice was that the old OEM output shafts were thicker than the SKF ones that I have now. I couldn't find different ones for the automatic and the manual transmission. Maybe the automatic is thicker. So if you know that, please put it down in the comments below. If that's the case, then I have like thinner output shafts by now. They're probably not going to break, and I don't believe that there is a difference, because I wrote on the forums that the aftermarkets are like solid and the OEM ones have like space in between. I don't know how you explain that differently, and that the massive one is thinner, and probably because they're like 1,000 euros, maybe they're stronger or thicker. But this is what the SKF website and the website where I ordered them advised on my license plate. So it'd probably be good, but like I said, if you know it, please down in the comments below. So I'm going to order the stabilizer rods probably today, and on Saturday this weekend we're going to mount them, but I'm going to get back to you guys when I ordered them and received them. I keep forgetting to tell you stuff. because I want to tell you guys a lot of stuff, but the mechanic gave me a tip or like a notice to watch out for. When these output shafts are getting rusty, they're going to rot, and then it's going to affect your ABS ring, and then you get an error, a fault code, etc. When you're only going to replace the homoknate, then yeah, you still have like a rotten bar, and also it's going to fall off. That's what he said. So anyway, it's better to replace the whole shaft, and it's also cheaper in sense of the hours that they have to put in to yeah, to mount it. And yeah, it went pretty smooth. It doesn't get like that always. I already replaced the wheel bearing, so it was loose. He said, or it's going to be this way, so we filmed it and do it that way, or you need pressure. And that's are the only two normal ways. You see a lot of guys heating it up and use a hammer and stuff, and that is not the way. You need a special tool and the pressure, or it can go the way that yeah, we had it. So once we have luck, it's not really luck because we already replaced the wheel bearings. But anyway, he took about 1.5 hours to do this, so it's perfectly doable. And yeah, if you pay somebody for it, then it's not too expensive. So talk to you guys when I receive the parcel. This came off. Great. Guys, really, I just put in some gas, and in the Netherlands they passed the €2 border. So 1 liter of gasoline is over €2 now. So thank God I don't have an M3. So guys, we missed the parcel delivery, and well, the parcel is going to a post office, but not a normal post office. There are people here in this neighborhood who like rent a room in their house where they can drop the parcels and use their house as a post office. Anyway, a lot shorter for me, so shorter to me to reach. It's like 1 minute walk. So I'm going to grab some food, and then we're going to get the parcel. No, still no rear sway bar links. The parcel app said that we have to wait until 6 o'clock to go there. So I don't know if they do that to like separate the time that the customer is going to be there, or that all the customers were going to be there after 6 o'clock and everybody is together. Or it could be possible that the parcel guy has to go there with his van and drop all the parcels. Anyway, we have to wait until after 6 o'clock to go to the VKS home post office to get our rear sway bar links at the VKS post office. Okay guys, so finally we got the parcel. So we're going to pack it out now. The rear sway bar stabilizer link, real mount full. So even for this relative simple part, okay, that's a nice box, you need to have like at least some knowledge. So what I did, I replaced, or I let it do the sway links for Milo ones, but they're 95. So wait, I'm first going to show you. This is the box, and the left and the right side are exactly the same. You see the part number over here. So I'm going to unpack one. Are they both closed? Yes. So I never ordered at this website. So it looks good. So the thing is, this was too long, or is it still under the E46. So the bottom part, I'm going to open it all the way. So this is too long. When you lower your car more than 40 millimeters, so that's 4 centimeters, then this part is going to hit, I don't know how you call that part, like an iron part that go into your rear arm. So need to have this shorter. Original, I checked it up and the mechanic measured it up. This part is 95. I looked it up on the internet. It's aluminium. It's real aluminium. Anyway, and then we saw that there's 95 and 89. Okay, you could check it if this is 89. So that's the part in between. No, let's check it like this. Okay, so they probably mean it like hole to hole, because when you see it like this, it's 89, and the other one should be like 9.5 until here. Anyway, a very important thing is this hole, and this one is with the iron bushing in it. I looked it up on real OEM, and I have a E46 from the year 2000, built in month 9, so in September. And then you had the old engine, the M52, and the new model, the M54. M54, yes, the M54. So 52 and the 54. And I have like the new engine. Before that, so I believe it's only like a month before, so month 8, then you have this shorter version. So once again, after month 9 you have 95, and that's all the way to the end. And then before, like 1 month before, you have 89. The thing is, the inside diameter from this and this, I believe the iron bushing is on top, and for my model it's 80 millimeters and 80 at the bottom. And the website said that the top was 70 and the bottom part was 80. So that means that I have some like extra space with this one. I looked it up on this website and they said that it's 7.5 and 7.5, so that's only like half of a millimeter difference on here and on here. So I really have to go like check it out. Anyway, it is shorter. What you can also do is buy this OEM. Normally I also replace the brackets and the bolts and the nuts. Especially when you had the too long version, it's better to exchange the bracket, because I saw it was on like this, it was out, so it was a little bit moved at the top, so maybe it's like bended a little bit. I didn't order anything now, I'm just going to give him this one and I'm going to replace it. He said it's a little bit, yeah, a lot of work, but I don't think it's that much work, but I'm going to be there, so we're going to check it out. Make it easy, make it moog. Okay. Anyway, what I forgot to mention is on the real OEM website, I checked out, because of the diameter is a little bit different. If the bracket and the big bolt and nut are the same size in like month 8 and month 8 plus, so with the M52 and with the M54. And yes, the bracket is the same and the bolt and the nuts are the same. Stabilizer bar are 18 or 19 with a 320i, and it's probably the same too. The most important thing is the thing on top, because the bottom is the rubber part and you will get it over there. So anyway, the bolts and the brackets are the same. So these moogs, make it easy, make it moog, they're probably gonna fit tomorrow. Check it before.